What's up, everybody? I'm Natalie. I'm an MC and an artist out of San Diego, California. Today we're in the beautiful Chicano Park filled with art, history, and culture. And we're here to talk about some things we think you should know. So I brought some amazing friends with me today, and our discussion is going to be about how we can be more accessible for our friends in the deaf community by presenting our art, music, events, whatever it may be, to you. So tune in.
Hey everyone, my name is Brandy. This is my name sign. I'm from San Diego, California. I'm an interpreter and also a singer.
So I'm Maggie with Honey Dip. I organize events here in San Diego, and we focus on women empowerment through music. We always have a full lineup of women artists and performers. We always book female entrepreneurs for our vendors, and we overall just have a great time and hope to see you at Honey Dip.
Hi, my name is Amanda, and I'm profoundly deaf. I was actually born profoundly deaf. Also, I'm on my journey to find my identity, and I want to immerse myself more in art. I love being creative and immersing myself, so thank you for this opportunity to be involved in this project.
Hi, my name is Nancy. My name sign is this. I'm from Mexico. I'm a deaf creator for social media. I love signing. I label myself as hard of hearing, but when I take my hearing aids off, I'm deaf and I can't hear anything at the end of the day.
I think for me, I just wanted to get right into talking about how you guys think that we can make, our music, as far as visually or creatively, more accessible to the deaf community.
Well, for on the stage, or for videos, or what do you mean?
Well, right now, since we're in COVID, I'd say actually both, probably, on stage to have an interpreter there. But as far as visually, even for other artists that are out there, as far as our visuals, having the lyrics in there, because I know that sometimes the closed captioning on the bottom, it's wrong or it's irritating, or when that little box is too small, it kind of takes the focus away. So how would you like to see visuals, maybe videos, and then also in retrospect, the live performances?
Well, specifically for videos, it's important. Some people actually don't add closed captioning because it takes a lot of work. So from that perspective, for the deaf community, we miss a lot of information and we end up being behind.
Because deaf people want to be involved in many different things, but they just can't because there's no accessibility for them.
So many of my friends always go to concerts, but they don't have interpreters there. You have to ask for in advance. So you have to video call your friend and ask if they have an interpreter, but a lot of the times you have to request for an interpreter a month in advance. So there's really no interpreters there, but my friends can go, but I can't I can't enjoy the concert. I feel like events need to have interpreters there no matter what.
Well, hopefully we can start turning that around. And, you said that you'd have to request it by video, which seems absolutely ridiculous to me. It should already be there. It'll be more welcoming. And hopefully, we can really start making these changes that we need to do so that events, especially in the arts and in music, which we pride ourselves on being open-minded and being inclusive, and then to think something as easy as having an interpreter or an access to it, you'd think we'd have it done by now in, 2021? So that's just...
Hearing people don't really pay attention to the interpreters, so a lot of the times the artists think that the interpreter would take away from their performance, when really they're just there for access. Deaf people love listening to music, and by listening I mean by feeling the music. Now understand that deaf people have a range of hearing loss. So I have some deaf musicians that actually write. Wow. They're actually writers. And I know some deaf people who play the piano, who play the violin, play the flute, they sing too.
That's
so deaf doesn't mean I can't do anything. Absolutely. It means I can do anything except hear.
I love
That's
it.
what that is.
Absolutely.
Okay, so also for stage access, I want to make sure that all deaf and hard of hearing people have access to kind of like a VIP area where they can feel the beat, and especially when the interpreter's there on stage signing, it's easier for them to see the interpreter and watch them.
We'd love to see it start happening, and if we have anything to do with it as a community, we can push it out to the next community and the next, and hopefully see those changes being made.
So as an event promoter, just hearing Nat, mention, we need more inclusivity and awareness, when it comes to events and, live entertainment. What can you tell me has been like a good experience for you, and what can we as event promoters and organizers do to best cater to you, or maybe even remove from events overall? Can you tell me what you'd recommend?
So you can add ASL interpreters into the event. Just keep them there, even if there's not, because really you don't know who is deaf and who's not deaf. So just have one available. Okay, so the symbol that has closed captioning on it, there's like a CC that shows that closed captioning is available. So if you look on the back of a DVD, you can check to see if it has closed captionings. A lot of DVDs actually don't have closed captioning. So maybe for advertisement, you can find like a symbol or a sign you can include. And for videos like on YouTube, maybe you can have it say, we are including closed captioning in the description. They have logos available for interpreting. So if you add a sign that has the interpreting logo on it, people will recognize it and be like, oh, these people offer interpreters, so that would be cool too. Yeah, that's really nice, says Amanda. I remember one experience, a friend sent me an event flyer, and I was like, do they have interpreters there? So I went and I looked at the flyer, but it says you have to ask 1 month in advance to get an interpreter.
Well, just know that when we do events, it's from here on out, at least for ours and our friends, we're going to do our best to make sure that access is there. Another thing it kind of reminds me of is I was thinking with everything going on in COVID, you can't dine in, so you'd have to go through the drive-through, or a lot of deaf people read lips, you know what I mean? So with the masks on, how does that work? That must be so hard for you guys right now.
Yeah, I go through the drive-through, and I don't really like walking in. So what I do is I take a picture of the menu, and I figure out what I want. So I go in through the window, and I show them on my phone, and then they look at it, and they process my order. So I don't even have to talk through the screen.
Okay. And has it been difficult for you as far as with everybody wearing masks everywhere? Is it like a culture? I mean, we think it's a culture shock for us, which makes me really realize my privilege that I'm like, oh, I gotta wear this freaking mask. But then I thought, that's a huge dent in how you process interactions with other people, right? I mean, how have you adapted to that?
So if someone has a window, like a clear window, then I can take my mask off a little bit if they want to chat with me, or I'll just use a pen and paper and write back and forth. Or if they have a phone, we can text back and forth. So it's really difficult for our deaf community to be able to understand facial expressions when we're signing too. Like, for example, if we're going to a deaf event, all people are wearing the masks. But it's hard for us to really analyze your facial expression and your mouth, like your body language. So it looks like for robotic, and all we can see is your eyebrows moving down. Are you laughing or are you not laughing? Sometimes. With masks, I understand that. I work in retail, and it's hard to recognize if a customer comes up, are you talking to me or are you not talking to me when they walk up to me, because they're all wearing masks. I'm not sure if they're trying to approach me or not. So it makes it more complicated. Oh, when people try to approach me, they don't realize I'm deaf, and they go to complain because they think I'm ignoring them. But it's really because they can't hear.
Because I think that's the most important thing as well to get out of today, is how to approach without being rude, without shocking somebody and being respectful, just like we should already be as human beings to each other, whether we're friends or strangers. We should always approach each other respectfully and the way we want to be approached.
Yeah. We're all human. I experience people try to fight me because they think I'm ignoring them. I'm like, no, I'm not ignoring you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I experience that a lot.
So another question I had, Amanda, I know you mentioned it earlier, deaf people and people hard of hearing, they experience music through vibrations, right? You feel it all through your body. I was stayed up, all last night looking at different products that event promoters can use to enhance the experience for deaf people. Have you had experience with that yourself, or seen it at any other music events?
I know someone who actually is deaf, who is a deaf dancer, and I used to live with them, and I watched how he would work with the music and the vibrations, and he actually had some special kind of shoes where you can feel the vibration inside of the shoes through Bluetooth. So he's a dancer, he's a deaf dancer, and he's performed in different shows, many different shows, and he works with famous celebrities. And it's taken him a lot of practice to memorize and make sure he perfects each movement with the beat. And he practices all the time until he feels like his movements match, and then when he's ready for the stage. Also, Amanda says, it's easy if the floor is wood. Yes, Nancy says, especially wood is better than like concrete, so the special type of floor, a wooden floor, reflects the vibrating sensation more. And it's also important that the speaker is close to the deaf person, not far away. So for example, if I'm right here and the speaker is right here or behind me, like close to me, in that proximity, that'll work.
And Nancy, I think you might have mentioned something like a little section, not exactly VIP, but kind of just like backstage, available to you guys.
So not really backstage, but like we as deaf people or disabled people want to feel the same access that hearing people get, right? So we don't want to feel like, oh, we're special, we're a more priority. Like, no, we just want to be able to sit by the stage. So you know how there's the stage, and in the front of the stage, there can be a little area. So I think I went to 3 years ago, I went to the LGBTQ, Pride, San Diego Pride. I went there, and they had a stage area only for deaf people and hard of hearing people. And all the disabled people were in one area. And hearing people weren't allowed to go through there. They can go wherever, but that was kind of like our special spot. It made us feel really happy and free, you know?
Good,
Yeah, Amanda says, I realized I like being in the front because in the back, there's people like crowding and you can't see the interpreter, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, that's great to know. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
It's been great talking to you guys.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Catch you at the next Honey Dip.
Yes.
Now, I really want to thank you guys for this opportunity because I really like when people ask me about how to give access to the deaf community because, we're really far behind. It's 2020 and we're far behind. Thank you. I really enjoyed this a lot.
It's just a small thing, but little small things, they add up to big things and big changes. And that's what we're hoping for.
Yep. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Cool. Beautiful, guys.
I know it's been a long ride, but I don't want you missing out on anything, no. So I'm gonna need you to close your eyes and feel everything. And I'll give you some time to realize where you're going. Just take your time. true colors are showing.